Hello, my name is Daniel Yuck. Thank you for watching today. I appreciate you, your time, and your support. In today's video, I want to dive into an in-depth review and take a close-up look with you at this new tattooing workbook that I created called Vehicle Practice Volume 1. By the end of this video, you will know what to expect from Vehicle Practice Volume 1. However, should you have any questions at all, I encourage you to drop a comment down below. I'll do my absolute best to assist you in the best possible direction. I will also be leaving my Amazon affiliate and other affiliate links for you in the description below to the gear featured in this video so you can check it out on your end. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and ring that bell for me, as I will be bringing more videos and workbooks like this for you all. I do also have social medias under the same name as this YouTube. I have Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok, all under Daniel Yuck. I would appreciate the support over there as well. With that being said, let's get right on into this. Let's start here. This is Vehicle Practice Volume 1. This is a tattooing workbook that I created that's designed to help us progress with just that, with our vehicle practice. So within this workbook, we're going to be greeted with an assortment of various designs from hot rods, trucks, lowriders, and more. And we're going to have to figure out ways to apply these designs. This is great for those that are wanting to get vehicle practice under their belt, or if you feel like you are going to be doing designs that may call for vehicles, then this is going to be a great investment for you. Even if you're just trying to step outside of your comfort zone, I do feel like Vehicle Practice Volume 1 can still be a great investment for that. Let me show you the front cover here, and then we can take a look at the book inside here. But let's start with the cover full 360. So you can see over 100 vehicle exercises. We can use a tattoo machine, learn to apply vehicles, designs, and we can practice on the go, and hours of practice at your fingertips. This is the side right here. Allow me to show you the back. Feel free to pause at any point so that we can kind of scan and go through all of this on your end. And you can see here that it is a gloss finish. Both sides are like that, full 360. And let's take a look at some of the insides here. So this is the first page that we were greeted with when it comes to vehicle practice. And you can see off the bat, we go straight into work. Now, what's also cool about this workbook is that each page is going to include a tip, trick, or a short story to go ahead and help and guide and motivate along the way. And there's going to be loads of these different exercises. Stick around. I'm actually going to demo some of these here for you. Be sure to subscribe so that way you can see more of these exercises done in video format. So for example, I'm going to tattoo time-lapse of this one right here, and I'll go ahead and put that out as a video, and then I kind of do that with each and every page. You get the idea. But you can see off the bat that there are vehicles ready to be applied. The concept for my tattooing workbooks is pretty straightforward. So you're going to see here's a faint version of this design right here, and you're going to see that it has all of the details and everything right there. We do get lighter midtones and darker areas all throughout each and every single design. The idea is to use this not only as a reference but as a stencil as well to apply the design as we see fit. So the idea is to practice getting to those tones correctly, practice the transitions, practice the saturations, practice the cleanliness. You can see that there is a varying tone from here over here. Paying attention to all of these little details are really going to begin to add up and help us progress in a better, healthier manner, I feel, as opposed to not using a sort of guide or reference at all. And then this is going to translate when we start tattooing on fake skin over well, because we're going to be familiar with reading references. We're going to be able to translate it because we practice the technical application within these workbooks. And that's just one of the many designs that are included. So you can see here's like a lowrider design, and they are pretty challenging. As you can see, you're really going to get your practice in. Keep in mind, we can do this on the go, anytime, any place, anywhere, which is one of my favorite things. But you can see that these are detailed designs, and everyone's going to be a little bit different. You can see how this one's a little bit more sharper. You can see we have some nice reflective shades going on here as well. Others are going to give us more of a challenge and be a bit more distorted, and I feel like that's kind of the nature of tattooing as well. And especially when we're dealing with stencils, some come out clean, some don't. You can see here's another clean design, and all shading tones are there. I feel from dark all the way up to light. You even get mid-tones as well. You can see this one's a little bit more distorted, not as clean. However, still 110% workable. So I feel like not only is this going to be great to practice our technical applications, not only is this going to be great for stepping outside of our comfort zone when it comes to applying vehicles, this is also going to be great to help strengthen our referencing skills and also for our technical application. If we're going to be using a tattoo machine, then we can really get the most out of this workbook and any other workbook that I've created. Allow me to kind of like flip through the pages here for you so that we can get an idea as to what type of vehicles we can expect. And keep in mind, this is a pretty thick book, so there are going to be loads of different exercises here. I'm going to go ahead and kind of just flip through some. Here's some right there. I'm going to skip some pages. Let me kind of go this way. So you can see in the back right here, we have full-on engines here. And basically the idea is we're going to apply all of the darker areas, we're going to apply them, the darkest, all the lighter areas, we're going to apply them. And by doing so, we're going to figure out, you know, the technical application for the lighter tones, the technical application and feel for the mid-tones and darker tones. You get the idea. So I feel like this is a great place to begin. And even if we just want to, again, brush up and get more familiar with styles that we aren't fully comfortable with, this is also a great investment. You can see here that we do get a variety of different styles from rear. We even get trucks right here with nice reflective shades going on there. So there is a lot here to, I guess, do, learn, and kind of get through to really, I guess, grasp the concept of some of these applications. You can see, like, for example, right here, all of these white areas, we wouldn't touch those. These right here will go fully saturated. We can use any color that a pen that we'd like, or again, a pencil. This right here, and you can see right here though, we're gonna have to really be careful because these tones are a little bit lighter, so we don't want to go too dark. And you can kind of see some more learnings that we're going to be picking up from vehicle practice. I feel like every single design offers different opportunities here to pick up different things and learn different things. You can see we do get front-facing vehicles here. We get side, profile, rear as well. So there's multiple angles here to go off of, different types of cars as well. So there is a nice assortment for volume 1. I'll go ahead and anything that I can improve on, I'll make sure to do that in volume 2 as well, and so forth. You get the idea. But throughout this entire book right here, there are loads of various exercises that are going to keep you busy for a very long time. And again, we can do this with any color ballpoint cartridge, whether it's blue, green, pink, black. I would recommend just using a black cartridge, so that way you can really see the ink depositing, and it kind of mimics that of using black ink when we tattoo, which is a very common ink most of us start with, if not all of us. But that right there is a closer look at Vehicle Practice Volume 1. Before we switch over to a different angle, I want to give you a quick tip. So what I like to do is I like to get a thicker cardstock type of paper. This one right here is just it's a couple of papers, as you can see, from a black book. So I'm going to use this, and whatever design I choose to pick from there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this in the back. You can see that we have a paper, and the only design that's on the entire paper front and back is this front right here. So what I'm doing is I'm placing a thicker paper, such as a cardstock or this paper, these couple of papers, in the back like so. So that way, when I do begin to apply this design, if I happen to break through the paper, I don't cause any damage to the designs behind it. That is one thing that I would recommend doing along the way as you practice. Now, that is pretty much it. From here, let's switch on over to a different angle so that way we can take a close-up look at Vehicle Practice Volume 1 in action. So here I have a design selected within Vehicle Practice Volume 1. I'm going to be using Phantom tattoo gloves here. I'm also using the Ink Claw grip for cartridges. I'm using an Ink Claw cartridge along with the, I believe it's called More Money tattoo machine from Ink Claw. That is my entire setup right here. I'm going to be demonstrating at 5 volts. Now, typically when I have a design facing me, I like to begin from the area that's closest to me and kind of work my way around there. The idea behind Vehicle Practice and every tattoo workbook that I make is to help us kind of get a more practical approach, or at least get more acquainted with a practical tattoo approach. So for example, I'm going to begin from here. I'm going to kind of find my comfortability here, my posture and positioning, and then I'm going to begin to apply this area right here. So if I were using, for example, a 3-round liner, which is what I'm kind of envisioning this ballpoint cartridge as, I'm going to be running at a lower voltage as I am now. And I'm kind of going to move in the same, if not the exact same manner that I would of that a 3-round liner. And you can see I'm dealing with a darker area, so I'm going there first and I'm applying it cleanly with full saturation, as cleanly as I can, like so. And then the same thing over here. You can see this area is a little bit darker, still running at 5 volts. I'm going to kind of just map this area out as you see me doing here and add them accordingly. And keep in mind, again, we can do this, of course, with a ballpoint pen if we want, instead of a cartridge. We can do it with a pencil. Let's say if we're not comfortable with this at all, and you don't want to kind of ruin the page so early on, and you don't want to commit just yet, not necessarily ruin, but let's word it this way. If you're not ready to commit, you can always use a pencil, kind of lightly commit to areas, and then erase it, and then go back over it when you're a little bit more confident and ready to commit, if that makes sense. And then from here, I'm just essentially going to keep building all of these areas. So I'm going to come back this way. And this is going to be a very similar manner. The way I'm applying this is very similar to the same way that I would if I were tattooing it. And then from here, I'm going to begin to connect that area to this area. And this area goes dark there. I'm going to come this way over here. So you can see that I'm getting practical practice in right here because I'm using a tattoo machine and this workbook right here. There we go. And then you can kind of get the idea around that. So what I'm working on here is my hand speed to my voltage. So you can see each time I apply a line, I get better and better at it because I'm working on my hand speed to my voltage. I can go ahead and dabble a little bit within needle depth, pressures, different pressures, getting different tones. All of these are fundamentals that I'm actively picking up right now as I'm using this workbook here. And all of these are fundamentals that I'm going to take with me throughout my career. Keep in mind, this isn't where I'm mastering or anything like that. This is simply where I'm getting acquainted and then learning the basics. And then from here, I'm going to kind of continue building around. I'm just kind of mapping out these areas here where everything is going to be. I'm also practicing discipline, like staying at a consistent speed here that benefits the overall design is really, really important, and kind of working one area as well. So I'm also picking up on discipline along the way early on. So you can see that when taken serious, let's say if we approach this the same way we would as if we were tattooing, and we're taking it serious, you know, we have our gloves on and all of that, we can really get the most out of it and really get a good, I guess, sort of mimic of a tattooing workflow. So what I'm going to do is make these edges a little bit more saturated, so that way when I do cross hatching in the opposite directions, it could meet up better and there's no patchiness going on. So you can see that I'm avidly planning out how I'm going to apply these areas as cleanly as I can with my current abilities. Over time, these will get better and I will gradually improve, especially if I'm practicing enough. I think what's fantastic too about this is that this can be done anywhere, so we aren't necessarily isolated to any specific area. We don't have to, you know, set up at the tattoo station and stay there until we're done. Now, I'm not saying it like that's necessarily a good thing, because when we start tattooing, we're going to have to be more isolated to a station. What I am saying though, early on when we are beginning, or even just want to brush up on some technicalities, we can do that anywhere at our convenience. So it's really convenient as well. It's not to overlook cross-contamination or anything like that though. And I feel like if we're getting through these applications here, you can see that I'm applying the saturation and getting nice results without breaking through. I feel like we're off to a good start. Allow me to demonstrate a little more, and then I can go ahead and kind of continue with some time lapses here and show you some of these exercises. So from here, you can see that I'm changing my posture and my positioning to better apply this area right here. I feel more comfortable moving in this manner right here as opposed to that way. You get the idea. So I'm working out that problem. So you can see that I'm actively finding solutions and bettering my comfortability, which is going to contribute to the results of my work. And this is also something that we're going to take with us when we begin tattooing. I'm going to be mindful. So right here you can see how it transitions to a lighter tone, and then this area right here is the darkest tone. Like so. Now I feel like through all of these exercises here, I'm going to improve. So therefore, when I start taking these designs on fake skin, I'm going to be a lot more qualified and equipped to execute a clean vehicle design or a vehicle within any tattoo that I do. And especially after all of these exercises within volume 1, we would be better off. And you kind of see if you repeat, if there's or when volume 2 is available, you can go ahead and grab volume 2 and kind of continue your progression. I kind of feel like this is ongoing learning here. So you can see I'm moving in these sort of motions back and forth, and I'm keeping at a steady and consistent pace, so that way I can get clean saturation as opposed to something like that. Just using whip motions. This is still, I guess, technically stipple whip shading here. But I'm just putting the pixels a little closer together so it's not as texturized. And I feel like this is also a great environment to make mistakes. So if we're just starting out, or if we're not, but we're not comfortable with vehicles, then this is a great environment to do just that. If you're not comfortable with a specific technical application, then you can work up to that comfortability here within these workbooks. Just back and forth motions like so. And then we can even practice cross-hatching, which is another big part of tattooing, to smooth things out. So from here, what I want to do is not bore you with this real-time video. I can go ahead and leave these for the other videos that I mentioned earlier in the video. But what I can do is switch over to a time lapse, so that way I can give you some other demonstrations and give you some other ideas as to what sort of exercises we can expect, what other things we're going to be doing within vehicle practice, and then we can kind of conclude the video at that. Now, at this point, if you have any questions at all, I'm going to encourage you to please drop a comment down below. I'm going to do my absolute best to assist you in the best possible direction. Let's go ahead and switch over to a time lapse. Actually, before we switch over to a time lapse, here's a great example. So you can see on this same exercise, this little light area has some textures going on, but these are really, really faint. I want to make sure that I stay true to that sort of tone. So you can see obviously right here is a lot darker than those areas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of apply this area first to kind of give me a sort of guide. Like that. I'm going to work off of that. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and go up and down. Same thing right here. I'm just going to move in motions like this while applying this area right here. So you can see that I'm trusting the process and I'm building to the best of my ability here on this design in a manner that I see fit. And notice how I'm only giving it a couple of passes and I'm not going over it too much because I want to keep that faint sort of texture there. And I'm going to kind of repeat that with all of these fainter details over here. Okay, and then from here, same thing over here. Like so, and you get the idea. So we're just going to keep building on what we see there. I encourage you to always add your own artistic insight as well, and this is where you also develop. You can develop your confidence and your artistic abilities even further by making calculated choices that you feel are going to benefit the overall design at hand for the better. So you can see I'm kind of just establishing this boundary right here. And then I'm gonna move like so. So you can see I'm developing my consistency by moving in clean, consistent back and forth motions here, proving to yield pretty good results here. And then we can do a little bit of cross hatching. And forgive me if I'm going on and on about this. I really kind of want to demonstrate the power here. And then right here as well, there's a little bit of shading, so I'm gonna do a very, very light, soft layer here. Like so. And then if I want to kind of smooth things out, I would go over it again softly, but slowing down my hand a little bit. The reason why shading may look a little inconsistent, so maybe moving a little too fast. That could be one of the many reasons. You can see I'm just gonna keep building here. Now, although I'm not comfortable fully with these motions, I'm learning to trust the process here, and I'm learning to trust what I am doing, and I'm learning to build up to the results as opposed to immediately applying a line and seeing them. same thing over here. And you get the idea. So that's kind of one other exercise that I wanted to point out here. I'll go ahead and leave some text on the time lapses below, letting you know some other variables, exercises, and fundamentals that I'm practicing and to consider along the way. That right there is Vehicle Practice Volume 1. This workbook is available on my Amazon author page. You can go ahead and pick this up by either navigating to my Amazon affiliate links in the description or pinned comment below, or you can head on over to Amazon.com, type in Daniel Yuck, and you will see an assortment of various workbooks, including this one, that can help you progress within tattooing. Some benefits from Vehicle Practice Volume 1 aren't limited to this, and I'm sure it's going to vary from artist to artist, but within Vehicle Practice Volume 1, we can become accustomed with applying vehicle style designs while strengthening our referencing abilities. So therefore, we're going to be more equipped to apply the darker and lighter areas where they belong. Not only that, we're going to get more familiar with hand speed to voltage to yield smoother results. We're also going to get acquainted with needle depth. Not only that, we can practice posture and hand positionings along the way that may benefit us, and we can take all of this with us into our tattooing. If we are using a tattoo machine and gloves, then we can take everything that we learn here, all of these fundamentals, and we can start applying them to fake skin, and then you get the idea. That's how we can go ahead and climb the ladder. I feel like this is a much more healthy approach as opposed to going straight to human skin. We can kind of go through stepping stones, starting with these workbooks, working our way on up to fake skin, and then human skin way later on. You get the idea. So those are just some benefits off the top, and I'm sure that there are going to be many more. And again, it will vary from artist to artist. Some may get better with hand speed to voltage, while others may get more acquainted with needle depth, making sure that we don't tear through the paper. Now, right there is Vehicle Practice Volume 1. One thing that's important to know is that all of my assorted tattooing workbooks are designed for development. Some are designed for lining, others are designed for shading. You can see others are designed for exercises, but all of my tattooing workbooks are developmental. They are designed, again, to help us progress and develop. That'll be it for this one. Once again, should you have any questions at all, I want to encourage you to drop a comment down below, and I will do my absolute best to assist you in the best possible direction. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and ring that bell for me, as I will be bringing more videos and workbooks like this for you. I do also have social medias under the same name as my YouTube channel. I have Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok, all under Daniel Yuck. I would appreciate the support over there as well. With that being said, I thank you for your time and I appreciate you watching. You have a great day. Are you wanting to develop your tattooing skill sets? Now you can practice and develop anytime, any place with an assortment of tattooing workbooks that I've created. With these assorted tattooing workbooks, we can practice our basic lining all the way to advanced lining. We can practice shading, shading placement, dot work, textures, and more. All we are going to need is a tattoo workbook of mine. We can use a pencil, pen. We can even use a tattoo machine with a ballpoint cartridge to develop our tattooing abilities further. That means that we don't need tattoo ink, we don't need napkins or petroleum jelly to get to practicing. Simply open one of my tattooing workbooks and get going. It really is that easy. You can get your hands on one of my developmental tattooing assorted workbooks by simply clicking the links in my description or in the pinned comment section below, or navigate navigating on over to Amazon.com, typing in Daniel Yuck, and you'll see all of the assorted tattoo workbooks that I've created come up. If you have an Amazon account, be sure to follow my Amazon author page, as well as I would greatly appreciate your support. Should you have any questions at all, drop them in the comment section down below. I will do my best to assist you in the best possible direction. With that being said, let's get right back into this video. Are you needing or wanting tattoo guidance? What about 4K high quality step-by-step follow along tattoo sessions? Or maybe one-on-one tattoo support to get answers to your questions that are specifically tailored to your wants and needs as the artist? You can now become a Patreon where you will gain access to high quality 4K exclusive step-by-step follow along tattoo sessions. I will be tattooing with you in a one-on-one step-by-step manner where I will be explaining what I am doing and why every step of the way. I will also be doing this in a high quality 4K format for your optimal viewing experience. On top of the one-on-one support and on top of the step-by-step tattoo session guidance, you will also gain access to exclusive tattoo stencils that you can download and place on your end to further develop your skill sets. I will leave a link for you in the description or in the pinned comment section below, or you can head on over to patreon.com/Daniel Yuck. When you become a Patreon, you will be getting one-on-one support where you can ask me as many questions as you'd like that are specifically tailored to your wants and needs as the artist. You will gain access to exclusive tattoo stencils that you can download and practice on your end. You'll also gain access to exclusive high quality 4K footage where I walk you through each and every tattoo session in a one-on-one step-by-step manner where I explain all the whats and whys along the way. Become a Patreon today. Thank you for your support in advance. I greatly appreciate you.